to share my experience about Shelley's dowsing, or evolutionary dowsing. And I found out about Shelley through my mentor, Anahita June, who did an interview with Shelley. And when I saw the interview, I realized that this is something that I need. And at that moment in time, my husband and I were deciding, do we stay in our house? Do we go somewhere else? Do we build? What do we do? And we had talked to a realtor. We had brought a realtor through just to understand what the property value was and what our options were. And then I said, let me just reach out to Shelley and see what she's all about. And so I had reached out to Shelley, and we had set a time to talk. And I think it was in the first, I don't truly remember, but I just feel like I remember it was in the first couple of minutes where I was like, oh, when you know like something is truth, you're like, oh, Shelley needs to be in my life. So we set up the time for her to do an in-person dowsing, which was such an incredible treat. And even from a couple days before that happened, we talked about intention. We talked about what the goal was. We talked about what we wanted for the home and what kind of life we wanted to live. And from the very minute, I would say even before Shelley stepped onto the property, things started to come alive. There were little awarenesses of how, our intention of bringing joy into the home, bringing abundance. There was a lot around abundance, a lot around flow and wealth, and really just how can we be people who are generous and receive and open, and that when people come through our house, they feel this energy as well. So we started noticing things that we didn't notice before that were actually blocking that from our being, from the way that we were living, from the way that we were talking to each other, from the way that we were managing our finances, from the way that we were staying in the dark about certain choices we were making that was keeping us from fully realizing the breadth and the abundance of what we have. And so I would say dowsing for us, for me, has been so eye-opening because it's an experience that is ever evolving in terms of you really stepping into your fullness around being who you want to be and embodying your truth. And the idea that your house is an energetic place that helps you embody that truth, and for that not to be working with you is really a detriment. And so working with Shelley, and even after, integration sessions after our dowsing, I'm continuing to see where these blocks are, where these obstacles are that are keeping me from and my family, from living in more and more abundance. Yeah, so I'm really, really thankful that this is a practice that was introduced to me, and I'm incredibly thankful that I took advantage of it, and I would highly, highly recommend it.